I still remember the exact second my world cracked open, like a roof collapsing in slow motion, flames licking the edges while you're still inside, thinking you can save it. It was Christmas Eve, and my 9-year-old son, Ethan, looked up at me with those huge gray eyes and whispered, "Dad, why am I not in Grandma's pictures?" We were in the station's day room, the one with the sagging leather couch that smells like old coffee and diesel. The TV flickered with some cartoon reindeer crap. Nobody was watching. A pot of burnt chili simmered on the stove because nobody wanted to admit they forgot about it. The guys were in the bay polishing Engine 22, laughing loud enough to drown out the holiday music leaking from someone's phone. I was supposed to be finishing incident reports. Instead, I was staring at my phone, chest caving in. My parents' living room. Tree lights glowing gold. Everyone in matching red and green flannel pajamas, arms around each other, grinning like nothing in the world could touch them. Caption: Family first. Couldn't imagine Christmas without every single one of my people. My mom dead center, holding my sister Claire's youngest on her lap. Right there in the middle was this perfect, empty space, like someone had been photoshopped out. That space was meant for Ethan. He leaned closer, little fingers gripping the edge of my hoodie. His favorite, 2 sizes too big, with Station 7 faded across the chest. He counted quietly. 1, 2, 3 cousins. Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt Claire, Uncle Ryan. He stopped. His voice came out so small it nearly broke me. Oh, my hands were already shaking from the fight that started it all. Now, they were trembling so hard I almost dropped the phone. I'm Alex, 38. Firefighter paramedic out of Columbus. 24's on, 48's off. Divorced 5 years. 1 kid, Ethan, who still believes I can fix anything with duct tape and a hug. My parents live in the same brick ranch I grew up in. 15 minutes from the station. My younger sister Claire and her husband Ryan live 5 minutes from them with their 3 kids. If you ask my family who the reliable one is, they'd say me without hesitation. The guy who shows up with a toolbox when a furnace dies. Who picks up overtime to cover the gap when someone's short. They just never mention how often that someone is them. It started small. A couple hundred here for groceries. 500 there for school clothes. Then it snowed into thousands. New tires, emergency dental, the down payment on Claire's SUV when her minivan finally gave up. I co-signed because you don't have a family to support, Alex, not like Claire does. Because I was single. Because I made shift differential and hazard pay. Because saying no felt like abandoning the people who used to watch Ethan when his mom was on business trips. I told myself it balanced out. They gave me love, right? They gave Ethan grandparents. Except the love always came with fine print. Birthday parties where Ethan's name was missing from the cake, but Claire's kids each had their own special cupcake flavor. Grandparent weekends where the cousins got new gaming consoles and Ethan got something we can all share that somehow stayed at their house. The big one, 2 years ago, was the amusement park passes. My parents surprised the grandkids with season tickets and custom shirts. Ethan wore his shirt proudly all the way there. When we arrived, my dad handed out the passes. 3 for Claire's kids. Nothing for Ethan. My mom smiled that tight smile. They're expensive, Alex. He doesn't live close enough to use enough. You could just buy him a day pass. He was 7. He heard every word. He still rode every ride that day, still laughed, but on the drive home he asked, "Do Grandma and Grandpa like me less because I only see them sometimes?" I didn't have an answer that didn't taste like ash. Then came the renovation. September. I just come off a brutal shift. House fire, cardiac arrest, car wreck, when Claire texted a screenshot. $94,000 contractor bid. Full kitchen gut on my parents' house, plus a mother-in-law suite edition. Underneath, Mom and Dad are covering $24,000. Ryan and I are scraping $23,000. That leaves $47,000. Mom says it's your turn, Alex. You make the most. Family home, family responsibility. $47,000. More than I had in Ethan's college fund. More than I'd save for a down payment on a bigger place, so he could have his own room every week instead of the pull-out couch. I typed one word, no. The reply came fast. Voice note from Claire, voice syrupy sharp. Wow, Okay, if you're gonna be selfish, fine. But don't bother coming to Christmas. Mom's heartbroken. You've never really stepped up the way a son should. I didn't answer. I thought it would cool off. It didn't. Thanksgiving invite never came. Mom texted 2 days before. You can stop by after dessert if you want. Not bring Ethan. Not we miss you both. Just a time slot. December 10th, the final message. Given everything, maybe it's best you and Ethan sit this Christmas out. We don't want tension around the kids. The kids. As if Ethan wasn't one of them. I didn't reply. I just saved the screenshot. Christmas Eve, I pulled the holiday shift. Ethan begged to come to the station instead of staying with his mom. Captain let him. We built a blanket fort in the day room, strung battery lights, watched old Christmas movies on the ancient TV. The guys slipped him candy and let him try on turnout gear that swallowed him whole. He was happy. I kept telling myself that was enough. Then I opened Facebook. The photos. The caption. The empty space. Ethan saw it before I could lock the screen. That whisper, why am I not in the family? It wasn't just a question. It was a knife sliding between my ribs and twisting. Something in me went very still. The same calm that hits on a bad call when everyone else is panicking. I scrolled to the third photo. Claire and Ryan with their kids on my parents' front steps. In the driveway sat the silver Highlander. The one titled in my name. The one I made the down payment on. The one I've been covering payments for 3 years while Claire got back on her feet. I opened the comments and typed, beautiful family. P.S. that SUV in the driveway. Still in my name. Tow truck's 10 minutes out. I hit post. Ethan watched my face. Dad, are we not family anymore? I pulled him close, felt his small heart hammering against mine. You and me? We're the only family that matters right now, bud. My phone exploded. Texts. Voice notes. Threats. Tears. I turned it face down. While the guys pretended not to notice, I made 3 quick moves. First, I paid off the remaining Highlander loan in full, using the emergency fund I'd built for Ethan. Then I removed Claire as authorized user. Second, I logged into the utility accounts I'd been auto-paying for my parents for 6 years and removed myself as responsible party. Third, I called the cell provider and split the family plan I'd been carrying 8 lines on. Paid off every device balance. Canceled the 4 lines that weren't mine or Ethan's. Effective immediately. Then we got a call. Structure fire. I kissed the top of Ethan's head, told him to stay with the lieutenant, and rolled out. By the time we cleared the scene, the fallout was nuclear. Photos from Claire. The Highlander on a flatbed. Christmas lights reflecting in the taillights. You stole my car on Christmas Eve. The kids are traumatized. You're sick. Voice note from my dad. You're destroying this family over money. Fix it, or don't bother coming back. From my mom. How could you embarrass us like this? After everything we've done for you. I didn't answer any of them. Christmas morning, Ethan and I opened a few gifts the crew had snuck under our tiny station tree. He got a real junior firefighter helmet with his name stenciled on it. His smile was worth every overtime shift I'd ever worked. Later, my Aunt Mara called, the only relative who ever saw through the bullshit. She listened to the whole story without interrupting once. When I finished, she said, I'm coming over tomorrow with my famous cinnamon rolls and every board game I own. Ethan deserves a real Christmas. And Alex, you did the right thing. They've been bleeding you dry for years. I hung up and looked at my son laughing with the guys, covered in glitter from a pop party popper. My phone lit up one last time, text from my mom. Your father's blood pressure is through the roof because of this. You need to apologize and put everything back the way it was. We're your family. I stared at it for a long minute. Then I typed, Liam isn't optional. Neither am I. When you can love my son like you love the others, without price tags or conditions, maybe we'll talk. Until then, Merry Christmas. I hit send. Then I blocked every number that wasn't his school, his mom, or the station. The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was the first breath I'd taken in years. So here's my question to you, because I still don't have the answer. If the people who are supposed to love you most treat your child like he's disposable unless you keep paying the toll, do you keep paying? Or do you finally walk away and build a smaller table with the few who show up without keeping score? Tell me in the comments, what would you have done? And if this hit you hard, share it. Maybe someone else needs to hear they're allowed to stop lighting themselves on fire to keep others warm. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Do subscribe for more stories.